Hey guys, Slenderman here again, and today I got something a little bit new for you guys. Today I'm going to give you my full, complete, detailed, honest review of New World. Where do we start? So I've logged about, exactly 1,368.9 hours in this game. So, I've tested everything. I've seen damn near every aspect of the game. I've done all the PVE content, end game stuff, raids. I'm not trying to brag or anything, but I've got pretty much all 600 gear, a couple best in slot weapons. Um, working on my jewelry, but done all the crafting, um, end game crafting, best in slot items. I've done every end game dungeon. There's only two. Genesis, Garden of Genesis, and Lazarus. Instrumentality. And I've done a lot of the PvP stuff too. A lot of wars, a lot of invasions. Pretty much every aspect of the game: gathering, crafting, PvE, PvP. Done it all, and I've done a lot of it. I played in beta. I played day one when it was actually released, fully released. Stay on top of the dev post, all those communications, and just have a lot of experience in the game. And I felt it's time for a legitimate review. I have a super small YouTube channel. I wouldn't even say I'm on the radar at all, period. So I'm not getting any help from anybody as far as Amazon Game Studios. Just want to give you guys a good review. The review is going to be a little bit different. The way I'm going to do it is I'm going to just tell you right off the bat, right in the beginning, for people that just want to get to the point. Hey, is this game worth it? What would you give it at a you know 1 to 10 scale rating? So I'm just going to start off saying this game is definitely worth the money. I haven't played a game like this or been addicted to a game like this since back in the day with World of Warcraft, where I would stay up in my room for 2 days, maybe 3 days sometimes, with maybe a little bit of a nap. I mean, just hooked, up there just pounding Red Bulls, Pepsis, and eating a lot of bacon. So, no, my wife would literally like cook me a bunch of bacon and shrimp and like bring it up to my room like I'm some kid. It was great. I miss doing that. So I haven't done that, and I've played a lot of MMOs in between. Between then and now, I mean a lot, all of them. And there's been some pretty good ones, but never have I been so addicted to a game and basically had no life, you know, until this game came out. This is the one. This is the one that did it. It grabbed my attention. It is so much fun. I love it. Does it have its problems? Yes. Does it have bugs? Of course. Are there a lot of things that I feel they should change? Yeah, absolutely. It's a game. What game doesn't? So I'd give it about an 8.5 out of 10. Solid 8.5, with potential to be 10, or better. It's definitely one of the best MMOs that came out this year, if not the best. Um, a lot of people stop playing it, but that usually happens. There's a big surge, and then some people stay, some people get bored, they try new things, some people come back. Time will tell, but there's still plenty of people playing, and it's a lot of fun. It really is. So what I'm going to do is, and it's definitely worth your money, 100%. Even if you get half the time I got in it, I would say it's definitely worth it. So, um, let's start with the positives, then we'll go with the negatives. And I want to try to hit this stuff in detail. So, bear with me. This might be a longer one. Sit back, grab a beer, enjoy the show. So, first thing I want to talk about is the sound in this game, because that's one of the things that sticks out for me the most. The sound in this game is absolutely amazing. It's so realistic. When you're using your pickaxe, when you're mining ore, and the echo is, echoing off all the rocks and the canyons and stuff, and it sounds amazing. Like gunshots going off. And speaking of gunshots, the gunshots, when you go in your first war and participate in a war, it is the coolest sounding thing you've ever heard. It sounds like a real damn war zone. There's arrows flying by your head. There's bullets going off in the background. There's people screaming and yelling. I mean, it is awesome. It's exhilarating. It sounds so cool, and it just makes it that much more immersive. It is it is amazing. The sound team, good job, guys. This is top notch shit. It is really, really good. Can't stress that enough. Um, Graphics. This game's beautiful. When I first started playing it, I was like, okay, it looks good. I don't see what all the fuss is about. But the more you play it, the more you explore, check out the landscape. It's absolutely stunning for an MMORPG. Yes, there's some games that look better, like Red Dead Redemption 2. That game, most beautiful game I've probably seen. But this comes damn close, and it's an MMORPG. I mean, it's games in this class or category, they just don't look like this. It's amazing. The textures are there, the player models, the weapons, the detail and everything. The scale of everything. Like when you go up to a giant mountain, you feel like you look up and you feel like you're standing next to a freaking mountain. It's amazing, the lighting and the sun going down and the aurora borealis, northern lights for the winter convergence. I think I show it in this video. It all comes together so well. It just looks amazing. I love it. It's truly great graphics, best graphics I've ever seen for an MMORPG, where there's hundreds of players, hundreds of assets, and it just looks amazing. It really does. And like I said, the more you play it, the more you'll see. Like if you just watch this video or just jump in and play it for a few minutes, you may not really be able to absorb it all. But playing for as long as I have, it's gorgeous. It really is. And the landscapes. Now, speaking of scale, one of the coolest things about this game is if you are looking out on the horizon and you see this big giant tower, normally you would think, wow, that looks cool. Too bad it's just in the background. No, that's not it. You can run all the way there, reach that tower, and probably climb it. Everything in this world is real. It's tangible. It's there. You could climb the rocks. You can climb the mountains. You can go into these big towers or shattered obelisks that you could see at the distance. It's awesome. Like, I remember walking up on the Imperial Palace for the first time. I could see it way in the distance. I'm like, oh, wow, that looks cool. Look at my map. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go over there. I went over there. I could go to the very top and like look out and see everything. It's freaking awesome. I haven't played a game where you could do that, like in an MMO. I really, most things in the distance are not obtainable, so to speak. I mean, no, there are some, like Ark was pretty cool. You see like a big giant waterfalls and you can actually go there. But I'm telling you, this game is something else when it comes to the scale of things, being able to actually go to places you could see in the background it's awesome. The dungeons and the expeditions. I think they pulled it off really well. These are all positive things, by the way. The dungeons, the first dungeon I went to, I was super excited. And I've played so many games where they talk about, oh, there's dungeons, raids, and blah, 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 end-game stuff. And you go in there and you're like, what? What is the point of this dungeon? There's like one mob type, nothing really cool. Mechanics, yeah, you just move out of the way for this guy throwing a rock, and that's about it. Not in this game. There's lasers, obstacles, puzzles. You have to get through parts that are like instead of having a door, it's got these three horizontal lasers that if you walk through, you're gonna die, and you actually have to like activate this thing and grab this like special torch or staff, and then walk up to the laser, and it like blocks the lasers from hitting everybody else. So you're standing there holding the door open basically while the rest of the team goes through, and then you're the last one to go, because if you move before they get there, the lasers close and you can't get through. It is super cool, and there's different things like that in these dungeons and expeditions, and it's just original, it's refreshing, it's new, and they look really cool inside, really cool. And then the two end game dungeons, called Lazarus Instrumentality and Garden of Genesis, are way different from each other. There's engaging boss fights, there's engaging trash fights. It's really awesome. It really is. I can't wait till you guys see what I'm talking about. It is really, really cool. And there's not a huge variety of them. There's like 7 or 8, maybe 9, but the game's brand new. I'm sure they're going to be coming out with more. When they do, I'll be there. I can't wait. This game is so much fun. I want to talk about updates. This game has had a lot of updates for the time it's been out. If there's a problem or if there's something that the development team implements and the player base doesn't like it, if enough people complain about it and hit those forums, they'll change it. We actually have some control over how they develop this game, and that is amazing. Never played a game like that. Maybe I know one other game, No Man's Sky. Their development team and producers and stuff are really good. They put out so much new stuff. That game, when it came out, it was kind of a flop. After all these updates, it's now a great game and people love it. I think that's the way New World is starting to evolve. Uh, for example, they're going to put in a cash shop in the very beginning, and people really did not like it, like kind of a play to win type of cash shop, and they took it out. They listened to the player base and they took it out, and they, you know, um, sorry, they yeah, they skipped it. They said, okay, obviously people don't want this. The community doesn't like this idea, and we're not going to put it in there. So, and it's the same way for bugs. It's the same way for very, very bad ideas that they try to implement, like the expertise system. They told us what they were going to do. We didn't like it. We spoke up and they said, okay, you know what we're going to do? We're going to keep this system, but we're also going to change it to kind of make you guys happy and kind of meet in the middle, do like a win-win thing. And they did. And people were thrilled. They kept the system, but they changed the negative aspects of it that would cause players to not have as good of an experience as they would otherwise. And I think that's awesome. That is a huge evolutionary step in the way developers are doing things, in my opinion. you know, I I just think it's awesome, and they've done a couple things where they sneak in these bad changes. They didn't really tell us. They knew they were bad, and then they said, what, we kind of just forgot. I'm going to let it slide because most of the time they're transparent. They let us know what's going on, and if it's a big enough issue, they just won't do it, or they'll change it to make us happy. And I think that's really, really cool. Yes, it's their game. We're going to play it. If we don't like it, don't play it type of thing. But it's really cool the way that they're doing this. And that's why I spent so much time talking about that. There's lots of updates coming out. There's a lot of updates that came out. They keep adding new stuff. The roadmap looks really good. Um, just when they fix bugs, sometimes it creates more bugs, and they got to fix those bugs, and sometimes those fixes make more bugs, etc., etc. But in the end, they eventually get things running smoothly. Like Wars, they used to have a bunch of lag. It was unplayable, and now you can actually do Wars. There's still a little bit of lag sometimes, but for the most part, the optimization has been really good. And they fix a lot of the problems. They really do. If there's exploits, like people duping gold or duping these very expensive things that you can craft, they just suspended the trading. Did it suck for the players? Absolutely. But at the same time, it was a game-breaking glitch or exploit that had to be fixed. No exceptions. And to keep everybody from having a very bad experience, they just stopped the trading. It took a while. They fixed it. Now everything's back to normal. The economy is booming with these server merges, and it's a lot of fun. Um, and the devs, like, they respond to us. If there's a big issue, they say something. They touch on the topic. The forums are active, and they're always in there. There's community, uh, whatever, people from AGS that are in there answering questions. And this is what we're doing with downtime. When there is downtime, they let us know what's going on. They kind of sort of give us updates, but heck, that's a lot more than I see from other games. Um, Crafting. The crafting in this game is phenomenal. It really is. The only game, now, I'm not saying I've played every MMO out there. I've played a lot. The only game that even comes close to this crafting, in my opinion, would be Final Fantasy 14. Final Fantasy 14 has some of the best crafting in the MMO industry, in my opinion. This game is also top notch for the crafting. There's different professions, obviously. There's one of the coolest things about this crafting system is this gear score system. The higher level you are, the more higher gear score items you can craft. Okay, and that makes sense. But if you want to make the highest gear score items in the game, example would be 600 gear score. That's the highest, tier equipment in the game. Not only do you have to have the highest level crafting, but you also have to find your whole armoring set if you want to make armor. Each armor piece will contribute extra gear score points towards your crafted potential. So you have to find your armoring gloves, your armoring helmet, your armoring boots, your armoring legs, your armoring chest, your armoring amulet, and they all give you like 2 to 5 points towards that 600 gear score potential that you're trying to craft. Plus there's trophies that you have to put in your houses that give you an additional boost. There's food that you can eat. There's territory bonus that you can get to finally allow you to get that 600 cap gear score item that you can craft. It's really cool. You can't just get your crafting all the way up and then magically make the best stuff in the game. That's not how it works. It is really, really awesome. So yeah, the crafting, and there's weaponsmithing. You need all the weaponsmithing gear. There's engineering. There's furnishing for stuff for your houses. Check it out. Housing. This housing actually serves a purpose, not just for RP, not just to show it off. You can have up to 3 houses, and your houses can give you extra storage space. You can put trophies in your houses that give you extra luck for finding rare materials. There's basic luck trophies for loot. And each trophy has 3 different tiers. Each tier above granting you more luck in that particular thing. Like you can have mining luck trophies. You can have fishing luck trophies. You can have harvesting luck trophies, logging luck trophies. I mean, all this stuff. And, and there's gear sets for all that too, like a whole mining set, chest, helmet, whatever. The crafting and gathering in this game is some of the best I've ever seen. It's kind of daunting at first, but once you get the hang of it, and there's a help channel, there's people that in game that can help. They answer questions. There's a new world database. I mean, the information's there. And once you get the hang of it, be careful, because it is going to take your time, suck all the hours out of your day, and you're going to get nothing done except play that game. I'm telling you, it is that bad. It is so much fun. There's always something you're working towards. You're never finished. So crafting aside, best crafting, I think, in any game that I've played so far, other than Final Fantasy. But there's just so much more involved, and it's not just a bunch of random bullshit. It actually makes sense. You know what I mean? You don't know what I mean, or you wouldn't be watching this review. So check it out. Download the game, give it a shot. If you don't like it, get a refund. It's worth the money. PvP. The PvP is really good. Could it be better? Yeah, but the PvP's solid. It really is. And I think there's a pretty good mix between PvP and PvE. It's not just a PvP game with a little bit of PvE element, and it's not vice versa either. It's not a PvE game with a little bit of PvP. It's pretty balanced, and you could do either or you don't even have to do either of those. You can just do the whole entire game crafting, because when you gather materials, you get player experience. When you craft stuff, you get player experience. You get crafting experience also. And when you gather, you get gathering experience also, so you can gather higher material stuff or higher tier materials. You can't just be a level 1, go out and mine orichalcum, which is the highest tier metal that you can mine. It doesn't work that way. You have to level your mining up. But at the same time, doing so levels up your character as well. So you can level up just through PvP. You can level up just through PvE. PvP would take forever. Can't really do that, I guess. Or you can just level up doing gathering, chopping down trees, mining ore, picking flowers. You can level up that way. And then you can take those stuff to the town and craft stuff and level up even more. It is really cool. Or you could go hunting animals and cook and level up that way too. It's awesome. And the food in the game actually serves a purpose too. I mean, it gives you stats. You can have luck food, mining luck food. It's incredible. But yeah, the PvP is, sorry to get off topic, the PvP is really good. It could be better. There's some things that I would like changed, but overall it's pretty cool. It's not full loot, so when you die, you don't lose everything. The action combat system is actually pretty nice. It's refreshing. There's no tab targeting to be a healer. You actually have to point your heals at people and hit them with them. Whether it's an AoE that you put on the ground, whether it's a direct heal, you actually have to aim at them target them. You could use the party frames also. It's kind of a little bit wonky, but I love using the action system and healing that way, and DPSing that way. If you're a musket user or a fire staff, you have to aim your abilities and actually hit the person. You have to lead your targets. It's really cool. There's actually kind of physics in the game. So the PvP, it's pretty fun. It's a lot of fun when you're flag for PvP. You get extra bonuses, and there's a reason to flag for PvP. And when you're running from somebody because you're trying to get some rare materials when you're mining, it's really a lot of fun. Or even chasing people down, or you turn the corner and you just see a whole mob of the other faction coming for you. It's pretty exciting, and I like it. The wars are fun. I kind of touched on that before. The duels are pretty fun, and it takes skill to win a duel in this game. You can't just mash buttons. It doesn't work that way. You have to block, you have to dodge, you have to move, you have to know when to block and dodge, you have to line up your shots, you have to know, you've got weapon switching. It's a lot of fun. And I want to touch on that. The classless system is really cool. If you want to heal, but you also want to tank, you're not stuck doing anything. Yes, you have to have those different weapons, but you can just stop. You can respec into whatever you want, pull out a sword and shield, and you can tank. Put on some heavy gear with some high HP stuff on it, and you can tank. You want to be a mage, switch out to your light gear, equip your fire staff, and now you're a mage, and move your points around a little bit. The cost for respecing your points and attributes isn't that high. And that's another thing I wanted to talk about that's great is the weapons. You can't just pick up a sword and shield and be a tank. You actually have to use your sword and shield, kill mobs, kill enemies with it, and level up your proficiency. The more you use it, the more skills you unlock, and that's how you do that. So it's really cool. You actually have to use them to get better at them, both skill-wise and, opening up new talents and unlocking stuff, So that's pretty cool. And there's so many different things to do in the game. It's incredible. I mean, you're never going to get bored. Well, you might, but there's just such a big variety of things. If you want to go craft, you can craft. If you want to go fish, you can fish. You want to work on your house, there's an extensive furnishing profession, which you can make stuff for looks, and you can make stuff that's functional, that gives you an advantage over other players. It is really neat. And then you can make money selling these set items. Like if you make a big storage chest it's hard to find the recipe for, you find one, you could just start mass producing those things, put them on the market, and make tons of money. So there's a reason to do all this stuff and to level everything up. And I already kind of talked about trophies, but trophies are a really neat idea. There's trophies for every crafting profession that gives you either more stuff when you craft it, you have an extra chance to get like another duplicate item, or you can just craft higher tier stuff with said trophies. And they have them for all the different things, crafting professions. You get luck trophies, mining luck, regular loot luck. It's really cool. It's a great system. It's a lot of fun to use. And then just the immersion of the game, really great with the sound, with the graphics, with the scale of everything. Obviously you don't feel like you're in the game, but you do get lost in it. I'm telling you, you really do. So yeah. Oh, one more thing. The world and how you can change it. I would classify it as like a immersive, player-driven world that allows you to like shape the economy, the territory. You have to play it to see what I'm talking about. But your actions in game and the results of the wars and things like that allow you to change the economy. It's all player controlled. So if you own a certain territory, you can raise taxes in that area, and any transaction that goes on in the marketplace in that area you'll get money on, and you can control the prices and stuff. It's really, really neat, and you can make a lot of money. If you're a big company and you own a territory that's pretty popular, you can make so much money. It's really, really cool. And then owning different territories also gives you a bunch of bonuses. Like you can travel for less, which is huge, trust me. You can, if your faction owns two territories and you have a storage in each territory, you can actually transfer stuff from that storage to your storage if you're if you own each territory. So if I'm in like Everfall and I have a storage in Windsward, which is another city, and both of those cities are controlled by my faction, which is purple, then I can access my Windsward storage while I'm in Everfall and transfer stuff over instead of having to run all the way over there, grab the stuff, and then run all the way back to to craft something. It's it's pretty cool. Oh, sorry about that. Now, we're almost there, guys. We're almost there. I'm just going to cover some of the negative stuff. It's not quite as extensive as the positives. I'm not, getting paid to do this. My channel is not even on the radar in any way, shape, or form. I'm a nobody. So this is just an honest review. That's all I'm doing. So the negative thing, bugs. There are some bugs in the game. There's, quite honestly, there's always new bugs. And once they fix one bug, it usually creates problems and creates other bugs. But with that being said, I'll just keep it negative. I was going to say they do fix them. Things do get better. And they're great at tackling and fixing these bugs as quickly as possible. But forget that. There's bugs in this game. Bugs suck. We don't like bugs. They all have them. But, whatever. There are bugs in this game. I just wrote a couple notes here. Copy paste. Some of the towns you go to look very similar to other towns. You can clearly tell they're reusing the same assets. They're copying and pasting. There's not a lot of variety. Now, some cities are completely different looking culturally, environmentally, and completely different and super original from others. But a few of them look almost identical, and you can't even tell the difference really. And that kind of goes with the mobs too. There's a lot of not really a huge deal of mob variety, but it is a newer game. There's going to be much more stuff in the future. I know there is, so I'm not too worried about it, but it is kind of a negative thing for me. They could use more mob variety. Bosses, world bosses. I played a game, and I'll go ahead and say it. It was Blessed Online. Not the greatest game. It died very quickly. A lot of people hated it. Blah, blah, blah. The list goes on. But I'll tell you what. One of the coolest things that got me hooked to that game right away before this game came out was I'm walking out there. I'm like level 7. I'm walking out to this big grassy field. I look up. What do I see? This big giant troll just chilling there. And he looked awesome. Huge. Bigger than any of the buildings in this game. Well, not quite. But I was like, holy crap. I looked around. There's a couple people just staring at it like I was. And then next thing you know, a bunch of people just run over and start wailing on this thing. And I'm like, screw it. I go in there. I died. I'm laying there. Somebody reses me. I get back in the fight and actually make it to the end of the fight. Got a chest at the end. Got some loot. It was awesome. One of the coolest things I've ever seen in a game. If New World could do that, and they tried it with the turkey on Thanksgiving. There was this big giant turkey that everybody can fight. But if they can add more stuff like that and like these dynamic events, just walking out the world, a rift opens up, big old monster comes down, everybody works together to kill it, whether they're on the same faction, different factions. Wouldn't that be amazing? Guess what? It is. And you're missing that in this game. If they could add something like that, that'd be great. But the lack of that, I kind of see as a negative. Not really that they're doing anything wrong, but it would be so cool. I would love to see that in the game, but they don't have that. So, I don't really know if that's a negative thing, more of a thing that I'd like to see. Storage. I told you the cool things about the storage, but there are some negative things. In order to organize all your stuff, you're going to quickly realize that you're going to have stuff spread out through all the different territories because each territory has a storage and your storage gets filled quick. Yes, you can increase your storage in the game. You can craft bags, and Armorer does it, and you can craft really good, cool bags, and that's awesome. But the plain and simple fact, in order to organize your stuff and like keep all of these type of materials in one place and blah, 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 it takes forever. You've got to go to settlement to settlement. Traveling's not easy in this game. It is not cheap, and you can go broke with your traveling cost just trying to organize stuff, and it sucks. But maybe they'll change some things in the future. I don't know, but I would like to see something happen because it is terrible. But there is plenty of storage. You'll never actually run out of storage because you have every territory has a storage. But it's a mess. It's a mess. You'll see what I'm talking about. The quest line. Quest line is pretty monotonous. Thank God there's crafting and gathering and fishing and thousands of other ways to gain experience. But if you're just going to quest the whole time, you're going to get burned out. You really will. There's not a lot of variety, a lot of monotony, a lot of rinse and repeat. Same thing. Run over here, run over there. Some of it just doesn't make sense. But they're working on it, and they've already added some new quests for the new players, and creating a little bit of variety. So they are working on it. Good job, guys. But that one is still something that needs to be worked on. Quality of life stuff. There's a couple things that they could change to make things much, much easier, like having presets for different types of armor sets. Like if you want to be a miner, you have to put on your mining chest, your mining gloves. Why can't we just save these as like a set and quickly change from one to the other? It's terrible. You can't sort it. You just have to go through your whole bag of items and try to find your mining pants, and all the stuff looks the same. It's like it's a big pain in the butt. If they could just do some kind of outfit preset, that would solve a lot of problems. Man, I hope they do something like that in the future. Not a huge thing, not a game breaking thing, but it sucks. And another easy thing, like some of these elite zones and bosses that you have to fight, you need a group of like 10 to 15 people. And you can only have 5-man groups. Give us the raid option. Give us a 10-man at least so we can get 10 people in one group. That would be, in my opinion, such an easy fix and such a needed fix. The fact that we can only have 5 groups, and with the healing the way it is, it's hard to heal people in other groups. Like, just give it to us. We need it, please. And the very last thing, the negative that I want to talk about, is the bots. There's a lot of bots in the game. They're stealing our resources. Yes, Amazon is working to reduce the bots, and they're banning bots and, letting us know how many bots they are banning, but there's more every day. This is nothing new for an MMO, so it's not like the downfall of New World, but it is a problem. And, I'm just going over the negative parts of the game. I'm trying to find more negative things. But that's pretty much it for the negative stuff, guys. I'm sure I missed a ton. I'm just giving you the stuff that stands out right away from me. Yes, there's bugs. What game doesn't have them? Yes, there's things that can be improved. But overall, I'm telling you, the game is worth it. I've had a lot of fun. I'm still playing it as I speak right now. We're about to go do another Lazarus speed run, which is what I'm doing at the end of this video. And it's a legitimate fun game. It's got its problems, but I really enjoy it, and I think a lot of people would agree with me. That's all I've got, guys. If you disagree, agree, have stuff you want to throw in there, stuff you want to add, comment. I don't delete any of my comments. You want to troll, you want to flame, as usual, I'll take it all, guys. Thank you so much for watching the video. I just want to say, for everybody that subscribes, I'm almost at 500 subscribers. My channel's only been up for a few weeks as far as New World goes. I just appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for subscribing. This is so much fun for me. I love making these videos. I love editing the videos. I love creating the thumbnails. I love finding things to make content about. I really enjoy it. If I could do this as a full-time job, oh my god, that would be so amazing. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I love you all, even you trolls, which I've only found maybe 1 or 2. Shout out to you guys. You know who you are. I appreciate you too. Clickbait, hey, I got you to click, didn't I? All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and take it easy. Be safe.